tonight.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Burton. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Quarterback sacked.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun. Burton. And that will be incomplete. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in trouble, and he's taken down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. From the gun. Clinton looking for White on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Patriots take over. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The quarterback taken down and sacked. A fumble on the play.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Burton. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
For the right play.
That too.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
The end of the first quarter with no score.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Clinton. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never brought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Clinton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
At their own 11-yard line.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. down, that's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Patriots send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch is taken here a step or two inside the 45-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. And they come up here now, 1st down. From the gun, Clinton. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw. Clinton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
On 1st and 10, Clinton. His throw caught at about the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. From 19 yards away, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now the try here for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
1st and 10. At their own 27-yard line.
New England trying to get a place on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Operating from the gun, Burton. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Working with a 2nd and 3. From the gun, Clinton. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Clinton. Looking for White on the deep ball. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That's caught at the 25. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to
now. We're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
illegal block in the back. Return team.
Gotta keep playing.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On second down now. It's Green, and just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In our game, the defenses look to be ready for the regular season. Maybe not the offenses just yet, but still a half to go as we get you back out to Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it first and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Brings up second and 2.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And on third down and nickel formation here defensively.
Brings up third and 8.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Second and 11. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He'll find Metcalf. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play.
Touchdown, 49ers!
Bentley's pass.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there for New England. And even 40 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the gun, Lopez. And the Niners get there and bring him down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
It leads to 3rd down.
Lopez to throw on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, they certainly gave it an attempt. They had a diminutive receiver like this running through the land of giants in the middle of the field, but they couldn't find enough room to get him the football.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
6-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night, and that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. New England trying to get a place on offense. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lopez. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Intended for number 15.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Lopez.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
To throw is Lopez on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Illegal touching. Offense.
What did they call that on?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And not much running room down to the 32. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Here's Lopez. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And a quick throw here that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they're not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Lopez now throwing on fourth down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And they will take a knee here. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.